My name is Andrea Torrey Balsara, and I am a children's and young adult author and illustrator. But I'm also someone who has had to work very hard for mental wellness. All through elementary school, high school, and my young adult years, I had undiagnosed PTSD, pretty severe, and it caused me to struggle with all sorts of things: depression, incredible anxiety, corrosive self-doubt. And these are issues that really can wear away at the foundation of who you are. And if you're a young person who hasn't had a track record of getting through these times of difficult, sometimes despair, you can think, there's nothing beyond this despair. And you can sometimes take actions that you can't take back. In the news, I just heard about someone who took their own life because they felt despair. And right now, when the world, many of us are in lockdown, people can't go to see family for the holidays, and it can seem very grim right now. I wanted to share some of the things that I have learned, some of the things that I do on a daily basis to help myself, because I still have to make sure that I take care of my mental wellness on a daily basis. For me, it is a daily exercise. For some people, no, they're pretty even-keeled. They might need a little bit of help here and there, but some of us really, really need hands-on, how do I help myself in this moment when I'm climbing the walls and there seems like there's no way out of this room. First of all, I want to say, if you're really in deep distress, call 911. That's the first thing. Get counseling. Do whatever you have to do to keep yourself safe. But what you can do in those moments where you feel really, you feel overwhelmed, you feel like life is hard to manage, there are things you can do that really will help make you feel better. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I do for myself. Some of them might resonate with you and some of them might not. So pick and choose. And this is the very tip of a huge iceberg of information out there to help people, to help each one of us to connect with not only ourselves, but with each other. Because while we might feel very alone when we're in those dark moments, we aren't alone. Sometimes life is very, very hard. And it's when we connect with each other that we can really start to heal. So the first thing I do when my thoughts are racing and I'm feeling really overwhelmed is I just put my hands like this. And I just gently lay my hands on my temples and breathe. And I don't have to try to control my thoughts at all. In fact, what I do, or I try to do, is to watch my thoughts almost as if I'm sitting on a riverbank and I'm watching my thoughts go by in the river. So I try to get a little bit of distance between myself and my thoughts. All the while, I'm holding my fingers gently on my forehead and my thumbs on my temples. And I do this until I can feel a gentle pulsing, a rhythmic pulsing in my head, which means I have blood flow. So it's helping to process these feelings, these really overwhelming feelings. Another thing I do, I had EMDR therapy a while ago, and it's all about kind of connecting the different hemispheres of your brain. So if you don't have access to the fancy equipment that they used for that, what you do is you cross your arms, and crossing is very important. And you just tap as you're thinking of whatever you need to think of. And it helps to rebalance everything. Helps to just calm you down. And my understanding is that this is something, the butterfly hug is something that's taught to, children maybe in dire situations who've just been through a huge earthquake and they can't find their parents or something. And these children need help right now. So they're taught this to comfort themselves. So that's one thing you can do. If you're in public and you're feeling overwhelmed, you can cross your arms and tap quietly to yourself, and no one will know. But it will help you feel better. It will help you ground. Another thing you can do is, if you're feeling really kind of like you're kind of hysterical and you feel like you're floating away, like you're almost like having an out-of-body experience because you're so out there. Your power of your mind is really important. So visualize through your feet that you are connecting all the way down to the center of the earth. And then as you connect up, feel that energy flow all the way up, and imagine that it's hitting a star that is like your special star, your guiding star, that's 100 feet over your head. And then imagine that energy going through you again to the center of the earth and back. So it's this flow of energy. And then what I do, when I feel that flow, I draw it up. And I draw it up. And I create kind of a sphere around myself. So I imagine that I have like this little force field around me that's about the length of my arm width. And that I have this protective shield around me. Another thing that I do is I just put my hands over the arm creases. So if your arms were sewn onto your torso, I put my palms over there and just breathe. And I do figure eights just because it's a very comforting kind of pattern that your body loves. The pattern of figure eights. It creates a crossover pattern, which corresponds to, you know, all of the patterns in your body, the double helix in DNA, the left side of your brain operating the right side of your body, this side operating that side. So healthy systems in your body cross over. So anything you can do that helps with that crossing over helps to calm your system down. One of the last things I want to share is something very simple. Just put your hands over your heart. If you feel like, you know, a lot of people have had a lot of loss right now, and their hearts might feel like there's a great big hole in there. So hold your hands over your heart and imagine that there's light coming from your hands and that is filling you with light and strength and love and connection. These are very, very simple kind of first aid things for helping get through times when it can be very challenging. I have more information, more detailed information in a PDF that I'm going to make available for free on my website. I'm also going to be writing regular blog posts about how to stay mentally strong. I would love to hear your comments, and if you have specific issues that you would like help with, if I don't have the answer, I would be happy to try to find the resources for you. Okay, thank you for listening, and I hope you stay safe and well.